All line. Oh, you got the weak thing.
Huh? I know, I'm gonna. This one's alright.
Take time.
That's how the thing is gonna be like, oh my god, it's me. Good morning. Bro. I hear that. Yes, we are back again. Listen, episode, what's that? 30,
30, man. It's a landmark.
Just running
It's a
through
milestone.
things, man. Running through things. And today we're joined with, or joined by, shall I say, would you like to introduce yourselves, guys?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Go through, man. Go through.
But yeah, I'm Don.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
one of two from the Listen to Daddy podcast.
Lovely.
And I'm Kay, the other co-host of Listen to Daddy podcast.
Lovely, man.
Thanks for having us, guys.
It's a pleasure, man. I'm about to get
Blessings.
into it.
Yeah, man.
So
I
how did
got
you,
questions for you lot still.
Yeah.
I got a couple questions. How did you lot start the podcast? Like, what kind of brought you together?
Well, we've known each other from when we were playing football back in the day.
Okay.
So we were playing for, was it semi-pro, innit?
What team was
For
that?
Mole Valley.
Okay.
Well, they changed their name now, innit?
Yeah, they're saying it's something con Robes now, innit?
Yeah.
Something. I know a couple of ballers.
Yeah.
So we was playing football then, and then we just always kept in touch. Obviously, he's got a son. Oh, his son's 13 now.
Yeah, the time he was young though, innit?
Young boy. And then I had my two. And then basically we just kind of always stayed friends, and we always had that same mentality. And then one day Don just hit me and was like, "Right, I want to do a podcast."
Yeah.
I was like, "What, are you going to pick me? You want me to do it?"
Yeah, he was like, yeah, why me?
Yeah, I was like, "Why me though?" And then he's like, "Oh, cool, let's do it." And then we just basically started it off.
Yeah, you know what it was as well, yeah? It's like, you know, you see a lot of active dads, and he was one that I've always seen, like, just naturally, like, every time. It wasn't a thing where it's like, where's your youth? Or like, man see him and be, you get me? Man see it active, so man can't really question it too much and be like, man, no what that man is. But I knew that he was active in it, so I was like, yeah, man. We're good friends, had conversation, talked about real life stuff and that. Said to him, like, why not, man? Let's do it together, see how it goes. And then from there, it just happened.
Because you know what, as well, it's kind of like one of them ones where I'm pretty sure everyone else knows that a few men that act like they ain't got no children and they got about 3 or 4. You know what I mean? Just out here. Unfortunately, a lot of them happen to be black. Do you know what I mean? So that I feel like
Shout out Pops in it.
Yeah.
I dropped me, innit?
But like, there's a stigma around black dads, and I feel like that's why I enjoy what you guys are doing, because I feel like you guys are very active.
Yeah.
You know, as active as you can be in
It's a real insight to black dads today.
Yeah.
Not just black dads in general, but black dads as well. Do you get what I'm saying?
But you don't hear much
And it's
of it,
nice,
do you?
it's refreshing to hear the real story. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's needed.
There's a lot of stigma around it, like, you don't hear about like the other cultures, like, oh yeah, your dad's not about it. Whereby in school you get back, like, you're Jamaican, your dad's not here. It becomes the norm, you get me? It becomes the norm. So we know your dad though. What's your dad's name? It is like all of that. So it's like from that now, it's just been like
Went to the shop.
like you never get back. But yeah, word though. So from that, I just thought to myself, well, like, I know black dads that are doing really well. So why not celebrate the man that I knew and grew amongst? So it's like from there, it's just
Straight.
the idea. Yeah, man.
For real. It's funny, you know, because I heard something the other day. I think it was my missus that was saying it, and she was saying that it's only black people where the sort of like the underworld of the black society is sort of shown more than people that are achieving and doing good things in life. You know what I'm saying?
And it's highlighted in
It's all the negative, always the negative stuff.
There's a negative stigma.
None of the positive stuff.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's enough positive things going on with the man then.
100%.
You see what I'm saying? Enough things, man.
So you're just trying to light on it. But what you lot do with your podcast, I think, is amazing. Like them lot said,
Respect.
even down to your chemistry between you two, and even like the logo. I thought the logo is way things like that. Like, you know what I mean? But the first thing I wanted to talk about was what sort of major changes would you say came about when before having a child to having a child? What would you say maybe the major things are?
Well, first of all, like, how old were you guys when you became dads?
So I was 22 when I had my first. I'll let Don explain when he had his one.
Right, so I was 15, turned 16.
This guy was a GCSE man.
Man, ain't even done them yet.
No, I did them when he was out here still.
Fair.
But yeah, when I was 16, it happened, didn't it? I just had to man up from young. So pretty much, But we get into that later.
Of course. Mad. So yeah, what kind of changes did you guys have to make? Like,
Me, I didn't really make no change because I already had a job, already finished uni, so I got my degree and I had a job. So in theory, it was more just I had the money coming in, so I could provide for both my ex and my child at the time.
Yeah.
So literally just that point, making sure everyone was comfortable. We had our place, or at the time I think we started off at her dad's, then went to my mum, but then we was like, right, we need our own space, so we got a flat. Yeah. So then from there, just making sure they're comfortable, everyone's good, so we can provide for them. That was it pretty much. So nothing really majorly changed. It's more, it's just a responsibility of like, right, I'm now providing for you. There's a lot of responsibility that they need to be fed by me in that sense. So that was the only thing that really changed for me, to be honest. And as a young, like growing up anyway, I always had that responsibility of looking after my little sisters and stuff like that. So I kind of had that interaction with babies and how to care for them. That's also.
You're the oldest sibling?
I'm not actually the oldest sibling. I'm the second oldest, but for a long time I was the oldest sibling. Until about 15 and I found out I had a brother. But it's cool, man.
But yeah, for me, my change was wild because I was young. So, but to be fair, I think I've always said this to people that my son saved my life at the time because I was young and doing like you can imagine 16. Grew up in a certain area. So grew up in a certain area. So I was just out here just being just stupid or whatever. So when he was born, I realized that I had to now look at life differently. Now I've got responsibility. Didn't want it at the time, but it happened, so I have to man up. And then my whole thing was, okay, now you don't want to get arrested. Obviously, you shouldn't be getting arrested in the first place.
But it's not what you want.
Yeah, it's not what you want. Yeah, so you gotta just take it as it comes, innit, and just do what you gotta do. But my thing was making sure that I was going to school, finishing what I had to do. Even if I was getting the 4, 5, 6 or whatever I could do, I'd make sure I did it. Going to college, just doing them little things there, being in his life. Like sacrifice I had to make, so I couldn't go football as much as I wanted to because now I have to look after little man and you get me. So
that's the first thing I thought about. Like when I had a child, like, I'm thinking, right, man's got to give up my Saturday, Man play 1 in 4 Saturdays.
If that. Because the missus is like, no, it needs to stop now. Like because Saturday football is like a whole day thing. It's not like Sunday football. We go there, it's 10:30, back by 12. Saturday you're leaving your house at like 10:30, come back at like 4 or 5.
You know they make up rules like you got to stay in the bar until like
dumb rules. So.
Man, I had to do that, man. And like to be fair, like even with that, when he was like 4, took him football with man, so it became easier, became natural because he's a boy and stuff. I could do things with him and that, so it became easier. But a lot changed. To be fair, like your outlook on life. How you look at other people as well. I used to think to myself, raw, that could be my son. Like, and that's when I started realising that, raw, I'm looking at things differently now. So that changed my mind frame a lot.
That's mad.
What about you guys? Do you guys have any kids?
No, not yet. Do you know what? Unfortunately, Sion's not here today, but he's got 2 kids and he's got one on the way.
Oh wow!
Got oven soon done, fam.
Bun soon done.
Yeah, man. But and I think he would have loved to have been here. I'm sure he'll watch it and everything. But I ain't got no kids. Not yet. I want 4. I say this.
That's
now.
what you say. Yeah,
I say this now.
You say you want 4.
Like me and my partner, we spoke about it, and I feel I want to bang them out one after the other, innit? So they're all just like this.
Time of her.
But you know what?
She says she wants the same thing. So
advice I'll give you lot with that one is like you got to make sure that you're both in tip-top form. Like obviously time is different now. You have a child, your timing is different. You have to make sure that you can go to work. Keep in shape with your going gym. I see you looking kind of one, man. So like go in gym. Same with the missus because her body's gonna go through it for 9 months, and then if you think it back to back, you gotta make sure that you get me.
And also make sure you keep time for you two at the same time as well.
Yeah, romance, all that. So
I feel like that's one thing that you have to make sure that you don't lose that fire between you two because you're prioritising the kids.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie.
Bun them kids.
Bun them kids. 4 scares me. 2 I could do with 2. I think 2. But you'll see. I'll see. One day. You know what I mean? Don't know what's gonna happen and when it's gonna happen.
Yeah, because I've got 2 now, literally. So before I was thinking, I could do 6 or 7. And the 2 I've got a boy and a girl. So I'm thinking, I'm blessed, man. I'm grateful, man. You know, some people are not so fortunate. So you get me. So I'm very grateful.
Do either of you have girls?
I've got a girl. Okay, so one of each, pretty much both of us got one of each.
Yeah.
What do you say the differences in behaviour is between boys and girls? Like, do you think you worry more about your girls than your boys, or is it more of a 50-50?
I think it's a bit of both, to be honest, especially in the day we live in now. Like, I fear for the way they're going to grow up in the world they're going to be in, because at the times we don't know what's going to go on. Certain guys running around with machetes and that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's scary in that sense, but I think I worry that the worry is the same for both, to be honest.
Yeah.
So as long as I grow them up right and know to show them certain things, the rest is down to them.
For me, it's like my daughter, my son is my G. Like we literally grew up together, like I said, from 16 till now. So he's my G. But my daughter is like, seeing her now so innocent, so precious, and then seeing how women are looked at in the world, or young girls, and all the things that women go through, which are so unfortunate. But it's just that makes me think that times 10, like, what's she gonna be like, and what's gonna be around her when she's of my age, or you get what I'm saying? So them things they concern me, but you can do your best, and the world's not fair to certain people, innit? But yeah, man.
Because even in addition to that, it's kind of like obviously you said there's 16 years difference between you and your son. Does he ever get too familiar? Do you know what I mean? So,
like, in sense where, like, he gets out of...
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's a good question,
because you could see, like, if you two are out, I could think that, that's your little brother.
Yeah. So, do you know what? That's a good question, but I've been able to find that balance. I used to banter with him, watch Ben 10 with him. Then the second he's off... No, what are you doing? Like, he said something off key, or he's getting too excited. Like, calm down now, and he knows. So it's like,
you have to have that balance.
I've always had that respect.
They abuse it.
But there's times when me and him will banter, like cuss each other when no one's there, and it's funny. But he knows that when everyone's around, that can't run. It's different, isn't it? It's different.
So I hear a lot, that kids know how to press your buttons.
It's
like, when did you clock that your child knows how to press?
From when they was young, from the babies crawling, like they know what they do. Like you be watching them, and you say like you put your phone on there, and they go pick it up. It's like no, don't touch it. They'll look at you and just creep. And they wait for you to say something. Like I done said no, so why you even bother? So from young, as soon as they understand words, there's no problem. Not a problem, but they know what to do.
They know.
You got to get ready, fam.
You find like naturally you just got more patience now because your kids, so like.
It depends. It all depends. Like depends on what they're doing. There's certain times when I ain't got no patience when they could be in stupidness, and I'll just not wild out, but I'm like, flip like
be dad, innit?
You have to sometimes.
Does it depend on the day you've had as well? Yourself.
Sometimes it can. 100%. There's that factor as well. Someone might have pissed you off and you take it on the kids, not intentionally, but sometimes it happens. Just like with your partner as well, you intentionally take it on them. It happens.
I had to learn the hard way because my son was pretty much like me when he was younger. But there's times I'm getting vexed thinking, what you do? You know what, I see it. But then I'll be like, you know, you can't do that, you know, because in my chest I'm thinking, why are you doing that, man? But then I've got to deliver it differently, whereby his mum's like, no, like. So it's like, I learned that way, innit? But 100% no, they do test you, push your buttons and all that.
Fair, man. What was I going to say for the next thing that I had in my I just had it in my head as well.
What about the girls? About girls in general.
So obviously, so you two both got daughters.
Yeah.
Now, do you feel that as a father, it's your duty to make them feel like they can get anything, they can have it all, you know, or
within reason,
or do you have a duty to keep that realism with them, to let them know that they maybe when they grow up they might not be everyone's favourite cup of tea.
That's one.
You know, and just let them know that sometimes you won't get you won't always get what you want.
100%. You can't wrap your daughter in cotton wool. You have to be real with them and show them that there's certain things that will happen in real life, but also this is how you should be treated in the same sense. Like I treat my daughter like a princess, but at the same time she knows she can't just get anything she wants from me. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we might go out and she's like, oh, Daddy, can I get this? I'll let her buy it. Next time, Daddy, can I get it? I'm like, no. She's like, you already got this last week. Like, what's going on? It's not always going to run like that.
That's interesting that you answered it like that, because I everyone in my family thinks I'm going to be a girl dad, because I love picking in. I've got bare god kids. They're always, with my little cousins, everyone, bring them to Dan will look after them. But I've got a soft spot for like my goddaughter. not over my godson, but it's like my godson, you rough and tumble. With my goddaughter, it's like, it's so precious. I don't even want her to drop her. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you have to let them drop.
Yeah. It's true. But you see me, even the way I react over my goddaughter, it's like, I think, what will I be like if I have a daughter? Because I say that I'll raise my daughter to know that, you know what, you are a princess. This is how a man should treat you. But, you know, not everyone's going to you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. But then I think to myself, if I say that now, when I see her, I might just get gassed. I'm like, look, you could you're perfect. Yeah, you're the most beautiful thing on this world. How have you lot sort of found that balance? Like,
you
kind of answered just now. But like, how have you...
So to the first question, like, I've noticed that with my daughter, I don't want to see her crying.
Yeah, it's hard.
So, like, it's hard to see any of your children crying. To be fair, but I think when it's a girl child, it's even harder because. Obviously,
I think it's just how we're designed as men. I think it's men in general, depending on who you are. But I think personally, men have a weaker spot for females. Whether it's their daughters, their sisters, we're just built differently, innit? So it's like automatically it just hits you somewhere like, raw, like I don't want to see my sister crying, or like, or even for example, like if I have to see a woman, a stranger crying, it hits me a certain way. If I see a man crying, like pattern up. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way, but it's true. It shouldn't be that way, but it's just how we're designed. It's true, but with the question though, like for example, like for me, my daughter, I want to empower my daughter, so like she knows that this is how you should receive love, how I give it to your mum, and how you see me treat everyone around me. Not just about like relationships, but how love should be shown to women and humans in general. Because you can't just raise them to be like, oh, this is how a man should love you. This is how love should be given to you as a whole, as a person. And then if your dad can show you this, you should have someone to compare it to. So when you leave your house now, the mannerisms, how you carry yourself, reflection of your dad and the woman around you. Obviously, we can't do everything as men, but of course, if you have a woman next to you that can help you to guide, patting both ways, fill the gaps.
Because I feel like my daughter, when she does get to the age of dating, I don't want that dating, but the guy that she bring home, I want to see a reflection, or not a reflection of myself, but someone that's like that can basically look after my daughter and provide for her as I would. In that sense. So that's how I look after her or bring her up. You know what I mean? It's not easy though. It's not easy at all because you can't wrap them up in cotton, like I said, and you can't just spoil them like we want to, like give them everything they want, because that's how it should be, but it's not like that in real life. So
I've still got time for that stage. She's young, my daughter's 5 months today. Yesterday, so I've got time. So but already when she's crying, I'm already there. So it's like I know what you're talking about. The whole
and my daughter's in August. 9 in August. So she's at the stage where she knows what she wants. She wants iPhone and this and that, but she can't always get it. So,
that's it. That's how it goes, man.
But she's a daddy girl anyway.
Because I'm kind of like that with my nephew. When he's crying and that, like, as you said, I'll just be like patting up, like we don't do that, like, or like, you know, I'm just a bit firmer with him. But then when my niece is crying, I'm just like, sometimes, like one time, she was about to run out into the road, and I stopped her. And I kind of like shouted at her a little bit, and she started crying. I felt bad. I've stopped you. You don't need to stop you from running out. I've stopped you from running out. Like, why am I? And I'm like, listen, it's okay. It's okay. I feel like I'm going to be one of them soft ones.
You say that, but you won't. As long as they're protected, when you have that instinct, it's just it'll be fine.
You said it's balance as well, man. You said it's balance.
Jeez. So I got a question for you, like, So, just in general, do you lot feel like you have an extra responsibility to be a better father as a black man because of men before us?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a very good question. You know, first
and foremost, I feel like I've got to be a better father for myself first.
Of course.
Exactly.
And then obviously, like, people around me, they can project. Because obviously, like, we talked about the stigma of, like, black men not being present in their children's life or whatever. So I feel like, obviously, we have a platform to do that now, so we can then elaborate more and share stories or whatever. But I feel like it starts with myself first. I'm trying to say to you, I got to lead by example. You can't display I'm a good dad, but you can't see the evidence. So you know what I'm trying to say. So it starts at home, then you go from there. But 100% there's definitely a responsibility, because I feel like there's people that don't know how to be fathers in sense of like what to do. Because when I was 16, I didn't know what to do. I just know how to be there. So it's like you start from there and then you go from there, innit? But 100% you have to like communicate with people, like share knowledge, because that's what it's about. Like if I learn something,
like become a father. Who helped you become a father? Like, was your
my dad weren't there. Like obviously he was at one point.
Was your mum kind of telling you like what you kind of need to do, or was you just learning on the spot?
I had to just learn on the job, bro. My mum was a soldier. She was working, doing her thing, because obviously single parent or whatever, and I got like other siblings. So it's like I knew I had to work around that and still be there for my child. And mum would just talk to me every now and then. Oh, make sure you get this. This is what he needs. The things I didn't know about, so like the Pampers, the wipes, which one's the best, Pseudo cream, all of that, Cerelac. You get me? So like them things that I didn't know about, innit? So I have to get educated on that. But other than that, everything else I learned on the job. And then like obviously you see things in movies or from a distance, and you go, "That's a good idea. That's what I should try." Or
makes sense.
Because I think like adding on to what you just said, with like parenthood. Every child is different. You can't use the same book for the next child, and that's what you kind of learn. Yeah, like there's like something that could work for your first child won't work for the second child because they're all their different personalities. So in a sense, you kind of always learning, and they're always teaching you certain things as well. And for me, in terms of the responsibility, it's more I took certain things that my dad did that I enjoyed, and then certain things that he didn't do, I made sure I do for my kids.
Makes sense.
I give them the best of both worlds. Obviously, I'm not perfect. No one's perfect, but we just basically do our best, and we have people around us to help us and show us certain ways if we're not doing this right or blah blah blah. So
I like you lot's answers. So your responsibility is to be the best dad that you can be for yourself, not because other people weren't good father or role models to you. Like that I respect it.
100%. Or being a black dad. Do you know what I mean? It's not a thing of that. It's more so just being a
making
dad.
sure my child's good and I'm raising them right, and they get the best of what they can from me or the environment or whatever it is.
That's good, man.
I think it's because there's a negative, I guess, press around or stigma around black dads to an extent. You know, they're not there like we was talking about earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
So you know, for you lot to focus your energy on just being a good dad, regardless of
just being there. That's the main thing. Like even if you haven't got anything to give them, being there, present. That's like one of the best things you can do.
Yeah, of course. So then, with like any of your friends, if they're a father, and you see them kind of they're not quite up to that level that a father should be at. Do you know what I mean? Maybe sometimes they're prioritizing the wrong things. Yeah. Would you pull them up on it?
100%.
Yeah.
You have to have a conversation, man. Because if you're my friend and I want the best for you, and I can't see man doing a madness and leave him at a distance and be like, especially because like obviously they say that your friends are who you are. So like you should see me and him, for example, like some sort of there's a reason why you connected with someone. You get me? Like energy is real. All that stuff. That's what I believe personally. So it's like. Yeah, 100%.
Should be able to tell your brethren anything, innit?
Exactly.
It's not what they want.
Exactly. And even if it hurts, like the truth is going to cut you sharp. So even if it hurts, you have to deliver it.
I'm telling you, cut each other sharp. We've cut each other many times. I'm telling you, but it just makes you go closer because you know that you've got real people around.
And they always got you, and they want your best interests.
But it's about deliverance as well, though, how you deliver it. Because obviously everyone's different. You can't just talk to man a certain way, think that even if he's doing wrong, you have to do it out of love.
That's where it comes with your friendship. Because if you know your friend is a certain way, you drop it a certain way. You know what? I hear you, brother. Unless your brethren's stubborn.
Yeah.
Well, then, but you done your part, innit? If you tell man,
exactly.
It's up to you now to then cut him off or distance yourself because obviously
it's been said.
Man, I rate that still.
That's wild, man.
Do you feel like not like an extra responsibility, but do you feel like the stereotype or the narrative of that black dad not being there has changed over the last, say, decade? Or would you feel like it's still something that...
You know what's mad? I think it's changed a lot. But you know, I think it's what I think has changed is also the thing of like... Do you know how the whole boisterous thing from before, like... I'm not saying our generation, but like generations of like... In maybe the 40s now. The old school generation, they'll be like, oh no, you're a boy, you can't be doing that. Like, it's limited to what you could do as a boy. And that affected the stigma a lot. So it's like, when you're being told to do certain things out of like... Because how you was raised in the 60s, and now things have changed. Like certain things we can't live by no more.
Okay.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like certain things we can't really accept no more. But 100% has changed because like there's a lot of young black fathers, for example, that are being talked about, that are being celebrated with social media. You can see on social media, you can see people that are actively in their children's lives. So I feel like it's changed a lot because before, like, men will have lots of children back in the day, and not be about like you don't know your siblings, you don't know who your family. But now you see the man. Even Father's Day gone recently. I was on their thing and I was overwhelmed. I see so much dads and they're with their children.
That's crazy.
That's how it should be though.
Even if they're not with the woman as well. Even if they're not with the.
Do you know what? I heard that my great grandfather, my dad's side, he was a railman, innit?
Okay.
And what that is that they obviously travel and all that, and they're going everywhere. And apparently, my man had about 40 kids from.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. Like my granddad was one of the last ones, so he's just going laying his egg everywhere from. Just laying, spilling from.
Spilling Browns out there.
They're spilling from, So I'm gonna go there. Like extended family somewhere, you know what I mean? So that's wild.
Yeah, it's definitely changing.
But I think what you said about like social media for like Father's Day, I think that does contribute towards things, because I was thinking about what contributes to that change as well. And social media opens up that platform. You know what I mean? People can see what's happening. People can see that people are in certain people's lives. Because you do hear a lot of negative things. You hear a lot of. You know what I mean?
Even not even that. I've seen some of the hardest men like with their children like showing love. You see, man, it's not that. You see my father's that's his children, really. That's me, man. And then when you see man tomorrow, it's like, well, man.
No smile.
Straight bad man thing, innit?
Bad man thing, straight face.
But you have to. It's changed a lot, man. Personally, from my point of view.
Yeah. I got a question to ask you.
Go on.
I think it's an interesting one. Because obviously you said you got a 9-year-old,
a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old,
and a 6-year-old, and you have a 13-year-old, and a 5-month-year-old. So, especially you with a young black son, because you might not have had to have this conversation with your daughter yet.
Not yet.
But have you ever had the discussion with your son about the inequalities that some of us might face because of their race, or is that just exposed to him because of social media?
So basically, you know how with the whole George Floyd, RIP to him and stuff like that, like proper sad. But my son, he saw that, innit? And most children would have seen it.
You might have to give a bit context though where your son is.
You know what, that's something I did want to ask.
So basically, my son lives in Canada.
Okay.
So basically, he saw that on social media, and I was like, "Did you see?" He's like, "Yeah, everyone's talking about it." So from then, it's an opportunity for me to then educate him on certain things. Because obviously, I can speak to him about certain things. But then it will take him longer to understand it because of maybe he's not seeing it. So some people learn differently, innit? So it's like when he saw that and he doesn't understand what's going on, I had to elaborate with him. So I made a presentation for him and my other siblings based on Black history, who invented what these words are. So certain things I had to break down for him, innit? And then PowerPoint it, talk to him. This is what that means. Like different terms of racism, different kind of racism that you can experience. And he was like, I didn't know these things. And why didn't I teach you them at school? I'm like, well, this is my job, innit? I'm doing it so you can learn from me. So like you said, like with me, it's like opportunity to teach comes in like certain experiences that you go through in life, and that was my point. That was my window to open to him to say, here you go.
Wicked.
So that's what I did for him.
Because in my mind, the way how that was explained to me from a young youth was that, listen, like I can't do my mum's accent, but it's like, listen, you have to work harder, 2-3 times harder than the next man because of your skin color, and you might not understand it now, but you'll understand it then. And it's like what I'm seeing around us now. I think back and I said, "Wow, mum, you said that, you know."
But you don't realize it until you actually see it. That's the problem.
So, like you said, the opportunities or the experiences allow you. They open a window.
But then, having said that though, with your mum saying that to you, even though it's something that is real, it's a real thing. Do you not think that her saying that to you is already setting you on the back foot? That I'm gonna have to.
No, do you know what? I'm not gonna lie and say I remember that far back all the situations in life, but like I do remember being in primary school and feeling a bit different to some kids because like you get invited to a party. Like I went I went primary school by Upper Norwood near Crown Point. I mean, some of the people that went to my primary school, they had nice hot yards in Dog Kennel Hill or Champion Hill and big old yards or East Dulwich, and you're like, you know what I mean? And you go to people's back garden, they got goat and tennis court and basketball, and you're thinking, I'm going home, and do you know what I mean? And I'm going home, I'm thinking, well, I just saw a guy chase a guy. You know what I mean? I just saw a guy that would chase someone with a back chain because they were fighting. But over here, it's like it's different. So you kind of think, why am I here? But it's like I've not got the similar background. So you notice different changes, and then when your mum, but when your mum's like, okay, look, you come from this, but this is us. We're a working class. They do this, they do that. They come from this world, and they'll explain certain things. So you think, oh, okay. But you don't understand it as much then until you get to like maybe secondary school, then college, and then when you reach uni, if you've gone to uni or you just start working or whatever, you're like, right, you know what? this is a bit mad. The world that we're living in today, for us, like being black people, it's a bit mad. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because there's like, as a parent, you can tell your children as much as you can.
Yeah, this
but
is it.
It's for them to actually take it in and realize what's going on. Like you can show them like, right, this is what's gonna happen, but until they see it for themselves and trying to understand it, it's 100%. Basically like not talking on deaf ears, but it's more. They will realise later down the line, and that's when.
And what we got to remember as well, as parents as well, and obviously not you guys, but like, even when you're growing up, remember this: your parents would have been at work and you would have been at school. So most of your time, from the age of like, let's say from 1 till like, let's say 7 or something, you'll probably be at home more. Other than like you're in school or whatever, innit? But then from that stage now, you're seeing everyone else more than you see your own parents. They're working as well, so then the influences are different now. So like even just now, what you said just now, about that, it's like. There's pros and cons to it because you got to remember, that as black people, even though your mum's saying that and stuff like, my mum would say something similar to me, so it's like, as black people, there's pros and cons to it because like we have to work harder for one,
of course,
and then there comes trauma with it. So I see where you're going with that question as well. So we have to find that balance, and that's another struggle that we don't even want. You have to say to you, so now you're fighting with yourself, like
you don't want to shackle down your child, like
exactly. So then, what is it like? Because obviously. There's the whole don't touch the fire otherwise you're gonna get burnt. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. But then if you don't hear, you must feel. But then what? Like, no, because that's the truth. You understand?
My life, boy.
You get me? I remember I must have stole something. I grew up with my nan, so I must have stole something one time, and my nan said, "Don't you ever." And then we had a gas cooker, and she put my hand over. She put my hand in the flame, just about like when you put it over, and it's like right, you feel the heat, and like she said, "I'm no ban off it, boy. Don't do this and do it." And that was my lesson. But like us being a sort of more of a modern generation now, how do you lot feel when you know that something is not gonna go a certain way? But do you feel like you have to say something, or
I think you always have to say something as a parent? You always say something because you don't. Then it's for your child to take in or not. And if they don't, they're gonna feel like
it's painful. Man.
It's painful, but it's the way of life, and that's the way that they're gonna learn. And then they're gonna be like, like my dad made sense. That why didn't I listen to him? But he didn't want to listen. So
I'm just thinking that sometimes you got kids who you can tell. They're not going to deal with that.
100%.
Well, like, do you know what I mean? So
but then you can't always say that because they can get influenced outside the house. The ones inside can act totally different to when they're outside.
As we all know.
Exactly. There's certain things that we did at home. Like when you're outdoors, it's totally different. You get me?
100%.
Yeah, but my man who's always chefing, but he's the greatest son at home.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
The wildest ones,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I noticed that when I was watching or listening to one of you guys' last episodes, you was talking about tough love and certain ways that you got to, discipline your child and whatever. Now, I was sent a video which I want you guys to watch, and I'm going to ask you how you lot feel about it. Yeah, first of all, and get your thoughts. So let's watch it.
All right, come on.
So, hi everybody. This is my 12-year-old son, stepson, Terrence Hines. Say hi to the camera, Terrence. Say hi to the camera. Hi. Tell the camera how old you are. How old are you? You're going to have to speak up. And what were you doing today, Terrence? Tell the camera what you were doing today. You was what? You speak louder than the other time. And tell the camera what grade you're in right now. And what grade you're going to. What grade are you going to? Oh, okay. Why is that? Is it because you're a straight F student? And you like to get high? Can't hear you. Oh, okay. So, I don't know how to cut hair, but we're going to cut hair today. Terrence has a fresh cut. Got it today. Yes, he did. They're going to come in the house high. I'm so sorry for my camera, you guys, but we're going to get this together. That's what we're going to do. Because, Terrence might have a hairline. Terrence don't have no hair. No. Look at that. Can you see it? I can. Look at it. What we don't do is get high at 12. And what else we don't do is come in my house high. And what else we don't do is get all F's. Can you pass PE next semester? Will you pass PE next semester? Because that's what you're going to go to school looking like if you don't.
Yeah.
Did your daddy have to?
So I'll put that on the thing.
Put that for the viewers.
Yeah.
Alright, so
I don't
first
agree with
of all, what do you lot think?
I don't agree
about
with that whatsoever.
But
one, that's not even his mum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking
basically.
Two, she's putting it on social media for everyone in the world to see. So basically, it's embarrassing stuff. So what is that technically teaching him?
Yeah.
Like, what's that? That's not going to stop him from going to smoke again.
Yeah.
So what's that really achieving? Like, that
you're
makes
smoke
no
the same
sense.
cut regardless. You might want to smoke more now.
Exactly. You want to get high for this cut.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Trust me.
And it's just gonna make them want to hide things even more.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. I got caught this time. Next time, I'm not gonna get caught.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So that to me, I don't agree with that. I wouldn't do that to my child.
Those are the kind of things that send people off the road.
I said,
remember the kids
at
school?
You don't know where to come from.
I want to go home. So I'm gonna be on the road.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
100%.
exactly. Why am I going home?
Yeah, I think
I should get my haircut. No, I'm good.
I think she could have educated him more.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Like I said earlier on, there's an experience and there's a lesson to come with that. And obviously she's just like what, stepmom or something like that.
Stepmom.
Educate him more, talk to him about love. As a woman, if you deliver that, you probably cry and receive it like I love you. Like, I mean, sometimes just tell a man you love them. Like obviously not a man, but like your child or whoever.
Of course.
Just tell him you love him. Talk to him. Why is it not good? Like, where can I help you to do better? Why are you smoking? Ask them questions. You can't just be like shaving man, embarrassing him.
In that, what's the lesson? Bro?
There is no lesson.
There's no lesson.
Apart from that, I'm gonna get my hair cut if I smoke. Get cut with my
You know what it
Alright,
is?
cool. Go ahead.
You know what I think it is as well. Yeah, I think she's done it for social media.
Exactly. Yeah, this is it for the
More for
wrong.
her. More for her. Like,
It's the way she was talking to the camera,
Yeah.
like narrating it.
It's tap behavior, man. It's crazy.
no way,
It's
no.
crazy.
Because you know what it is, yeah? I was sent that video from my dad in it, and obviously me and my dad are at a point where, or we've been at a point where we could talk about how me and my brothers grew up. Sometimes he'll ask me, you know, do you feel you had a good upbringing, whatever? I tell him, no, it was shit. No, but like we have chats like that. Do you know what I mean? And I think when he sent that to me, he was like, "Oh, what do you lot think?" I said to him, "Oh, rah, do you know what? It's almost as bad as making your children stand up in the middle of the night because we've been naughty." That's what he used to do, innit?
Okay.
But obviously, I was battering with him.
Yeah.
Because he used to, I think I said it before, like me and my little brother, when we was sharing a room, we'd mess about at night. You know when you man not supposed to be sleeping, and it would be like, he'll call us into his room, make us stand up on the side. So I'm on one side, my little brother's on the other side. And then they'll just go back to sleep, and we have to stand up in the night. And we don't, because it's night time. Yeah, we don't know whether he can see us. So I'll lean on the wall, but get off the wall. Alright, cool. But like we was talking about like tough love and stuff. There's certain things that you know.
But you know what that was though, innit? What? That was discipline.
Yeah, of course. I understand it. Do you know what I mean? But then it's like even now I understand.
I like
beats.
That one. I like it because it makes sense because it's nighttime, so you want to play at nighttime. Stay awake.
This is it. And then it got to the point where now when he let us go back into the room now, my little brother still wants to play. I'm like, no, you can't do it. You can't do that. Stop your noise, man. Let's go to bed.
It's still the same.
You're the older sibling. You got to take charge.
But so the whole tough love thing, like I understand, like nowadays you can't like beat your children and whatever.
You can.
You can.
Yeah, but it's like.
But people, I think some people don't understand.
Yeah.
Them beating saved my life, but I tell you that for free.
Yeah.
I can't lie to you. Bust out my backside.
But there's a level, there's an extent to it. Yeah, that's where
there is.
Yeah, because the term beating doesn't sound. It doesn't sound.
It doesn't sound
glamorous
nice at all, but you learn.
But you learn.
Some way you will learn from it.
Because
you get fed up with the beating and just end up doing good.
Sometimes I look at other people and I know you lot didn't have no discipline.
Yeah,
that's why I see it as discipline at the end. Of the day.
But there's some people I feel like get beaten, but they didn't know the lesson or the lesson that was to be learned. Do you know what I mean? They just got beaten for the sake of beating. and that's why they ended up acting up.
But do you know what I find? Yeah, like I always forget this part. 'Cause you don't forget the beating because the beating is real. It's your skin. You don't ever forget the beating. I can
still remember certain beatings.
And I remember most of them. Still, I can't even lie to you because I was mischievous. I wasn't a bad boy. I was mischievous. If I could get away with it, I would try. But if I got caught, then that's my ass done.
Yeah.
But what was I saying? Yeah, you never really forget the beatings. But you see the differences with what you were saying just now in terms of some people got beaten, but they still kept on doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I remember. Now that I'm older, like you remember, like your parent, your mum or someone would tell you, like, you know, I didn't want to beat you, you know, but this is why you got it, because you don't listen or you done this. So you remember now, you know, if I do this again, it might happen again. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not just beating and then no one chats to you, but they might not chat to you for a couple of days. If it's bad, they might not get chat to you for a couple of days, but then someone will always come back and tell you, look, I didn't like it, but I had to because X, Y, Z. Do you get what I'm saying? When it's senseless beating, of course the kid's gonna get mad. You know what I mean? Of course they're gonna get mad. We are beating for. You know, if you tell me what you're beating me for, it's beating me.
Yeah. Any discipline I had, my mum always gave me a reason for it, and the reasoning which was the important part for me because I learned. I remember one time she was driving going around Lombard roundabout. She licked me. I was in the back of the car as well. In the back of the car. I was like, I couldn't believe it. She's driving round the roundabout and she's hit me whilst I'm in the back. I couldn't. You couldn't believe it.
My mum used to beat you to no sound come out my mouth. You know that one.
I remember as well. I remember being cheeky. I remember being cheeky. And it happened, and then I was like,
that feeling like you should have done that, but you didn't do it anyway.
Quite after.
She used to drapes me on her eggs, son. She's such a lovely woman. You see my mum, you never think.
You wouldn't think that about my mum, though. You wouldn't think that about my mum, though. But she's dashed everything at me from keys, everything. You know, like if you catch your keys, it hurts. Like
it's the neck curtain. It's the neck.
The wire.
Wait, yeah, that before.
I don't think I have, but I played with it.
She's hard.
I'm Jamaican, innit? So
you had that, innit? Yeah, every blasted
thing different.
Anything them catch them.
Anything in the vicinity.
But you know what? Yeah, secretly, mum was upgrading weapons at one point. I swear to you,
they do because they think it might get big.
As you get older, she's like, what? You know what? You're a big man, yeah?
And start thumping you in the...
Wait a bit.
Hey, have you guys ever had this as well? Just before we wrap up, like, so my dad, he would, if I was in trouble, or me and my siblings were in trouble, it'd send my little brother to go and pick out the belt to beat me with.
I used to get sent to pick the belt.
And then sometimes, so it's a bit of like reverse psychology because sometimes like I would speak to my brother about it and I'd be like, right, if this ever happens, get the small belt. And then he'll go out and get the small belt. No, he'll get the small belt. And my dad says, no, not this one, get the big one. So that he knows that like now, because he's trying to save me now, he's like, no, because you tried to save him now I'm going to get the big belt and he's going to get twice as much lips. My dad was something else, you know, but he's so nice.
Similar. That's what happens when they grow older, they're softer. Because even my parents with my kids now, I'm like, hold on a minute, they get away with murder. Like, my son's got 6 and my mom's still feeding him. I'm like, Mum, if I was 6, you wouldn't be feeding me. You're telling me you ain't leaving to finish what's on the plate. And you're getting fed. Nah, come on, man.
Oh my goodness.
As they get older, they do get softer.
Talking about the belt thing though, my mum once said to me, oh, come here. She pulled me to come here. So I'm walking, so she said, come here. She grabbed me by my trousers, pulled me towards her. Said, take off the belt.
Oh no!
So she pulled me by my trousers.
Take off
looked
your
at me
belt.
in my eyes and said, take off the belt. I'm thinking, what's that?
I well up already because you know what's coming.
Oh my before the belt come off. I'm taking it off slow like I don't know how to take it off. And she's waiting.
I'm telling you, patient.
She wrapped it around. I was like, no. I was like, Mum.
That's the worst one, you know. It's when they wrap it on the hand. Oh my goodness.
I remember, you know what? There's a lesson in the thing there.
Of course. You learn.
Yeah,
100%.
Just to wrap up, for any of the other future fathers or any young G's out there, what message would you give to them for that transitional step? What words of advice would you have for them?
Just be present. Do the best you can, and if you can't do much, just be present in their life. Watching them, because kids grow really quick and they change really quick. And they need some sort of guidance at the same time as well. And you just being present, even if you can't give them anything, will help them. That's what I think.
Wicked.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that one. What I would say is also be easy on yourself. In a sense where it's like you're going through something totally new. So obviously you're still learning. There's no manual for it. Your parents went through it. You're going through it now. So it's like ask for help if you need help.
Okay.
Communicate that. You get me? Communicate that. It's very important. Don't go through it by yourself and suffer. Know that there's strength in asking for help.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. Ask for help. And just be easy on yourself. Know that, right, if it's hard, it's hard. You're human. You get me? You're not perfect, innit? That's what I would say personally. Along with being present.
Yeah. Do you know what, even adding on to that, like I felt, I remember I hit a point where I viewed my dad or my parents in a completely different light, because growing up I thought that, right, you're a parent, you know what you're doing. Then when I realised that, right, well, obviously with my older brother, this is your first time. I'm the second trial run. And then my little brother's like, what, you're going through it again. You got a bit more of an idea of what you're doing. You're still,
it's still
different. You know what I mean?
Kids are different. They're never the same.
So
and not just like the times have changed. So, because like how my parents raised me, like giving me licks and that. Can't raise me the same way now. So with that, you have to adapt as well. So
that's true.
Yourself.
That's very true. How did you find that? Like, I know. How did you find adapting to that? Because obviously, what you're used to is how you was raised. So how did you kind of adapt that to suit today's society with your children, or has it not changed that much?
No, it's changed, but I do everything out of love. In the difference of like, if I'm telling you off, I'm telling you I love you after. I want you to cry and feel it. I'm being harsh with you.
Yeah, of course.
I'm punishing you, but after I'm telling you I love you so much, this is why I'm doing it, because the world is not going to treat you how I'm treating you. But know that I love you and it's for the better of you. No, it's not for me, it's for you. Because obviously you're going to go out there by yourself one day and then you're going to be like, raw, like, why did no one tell me this? And I don't want to beat you and give you trauma with that. Because there's some people that handle it differently. Then you go out there beating someone else because I'm beating you. And that happens, that's real, you know? So my thing is just delivering the love with everything that I do in experience.
But yeah, man, we're going to wrap up on that episode 30.
Episode 30.
Listen to Daddy Pod.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Thank you.
Pleasure, honestly. If anyone's like you said,
time to come out.
Any fathers to be and everything, I'd recommend listening to your podcast, because I felt like you lot really touch on some really important topics. And your model fathers as well.
More to come. We've been on a break, but we're coming back.
Anyone you guys want to shout out? Anything you want to shout out?
Just the man, them, innit?
Yeah.
Love what you lot are doing as well, man.
Thanks.
But if you want to find us, listen to Daddy Podcast on Instagram. That's it, really.
That's Spotify as well and all that.
Spotify, we'll throw it all up on there. Yeah, man.
Yes, we've been here with Aaron. That's what's going to go last.
Man like Schultz, the one and only.
Man like DCB, aka Chargy D, under the sycamore tree.
I mean, we're out.
Just hold on. So, actually, I'll do it.
Clap.
Bro, I'm making something. Bro, am I moving mad?
You trying to run it now?
Lessons we got as kids was peak, fam. I remember my friends coming to knock out for my mum and say I'm not here. They can see me at the window, like. You know them, like.
You know that meme? What was they knew Squidward? They're looking at Patrick and SpongeBob outside running.
Well, my brothers knew what it meant, because their mum was ruthless as well.
Yeah.